What's going on, everybody? Give me 1 second here. We're putting out the word that we're going live. Ohio is red. Let's go. Let me make a tweet real fast, guys. Impromptu election night live stream. Very important. Very, 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 very important. And I've decided to start talking about this kind of stuff instead of shying away and being a little scaredy guy. I'm like, oh, I don't want to share my opinion. Fuck that. A lot is on the line right now. A lot is on the line. So we're going to get a whole bunch of people in here, guys. Holy shit, we got 80 people already. Danny, we got 80 people already. Guys, do me a favor. Please go share this stream right now. This will be the best stream that I've ever done. We're going to do a live commentary, like a live breakdown of what's going on with the election, my thoughts, answer some questions. Let's pull up here. We'll pull this up we'll pull this up here. How we doing? How we doing? Let me scoot over a little bit. Get the hook out of the way. What did Rowan just say? 117 already. I didn't get to fly my flag in Brickell today. It was super windy and it was pouring rain. But tomorrow, hopefully, God willing, we're going to be doing this for a little victory celebration. So,
yeah, this setup is ridiculous.
Thanks, dog. Okay, let's. How do I screen share? Let's share this. We'll do some live updates here, guys, as we speak. So Trump just won Ohio, which is phenomenal. Home state, doing the right thing, making the right decision. Very important. Guys, please, please, please go share the stream right now. We've already got 147. I don't know what my record is, but that's a lot. This might be the record already. Go share this, and this is going to be the best stream we've ever done. Mr. Prophet, how are you doing, brother? Nice to see you, bro. Okay, what we got here? Trump is winning right now. So here's what I think may happen. I'm optimistic, obviously, that we're going to win. But you see that gap? That's how they fuck with you. They fuck with you with that gap. I remember watching this last time, and like 3 a.m, Georgia has a water main break. Biden just spikes. Vertical graph. Not real. It was bullshit. Obviously, we tried to fight that, and it didn't really work. But Pennsylvania is a big state right now. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think with the, what was it, 30% to 60% already?
They're going to edge us all out to like 2 a.m. Eastern. We're not going to know till like 2 a.m. Eastern what's really going on.
Sounds about right.
Trump needs to win Pennsylvania. And I mean, yeah, it's pretty much, it looks like if he wins Pennsylvania, it's a wrap. But
that would be phenomenal.
We're going to see if the rig is in or not. The rig may be in, it may not be. We shall see.
Yeah, guys, I hope you voted. I hope you're not I see this a lot on Twitter and everywhere. It's people saying like, oh, bro, just forget about politics. Just go make money. In the past, yes, 100%. Like even Obama, like Obama's your president. It doesn't matter, right? But now things have gotten so crazy that if you are on the wrong side of history, where we're all young, straight men, they hate us. They absolutely hate us. We are public enemy number one. And if we are public enemy number one, there's a reason for that. They are scared of you. This is the only thing that keeps them in power and them doing what they want to do with our country is we don't stand up and do anything about it. So obviously voting is the peaceful way to do that. Hopefully we don't have to do anything else. I would love if everything stays peaceful and we can just go about our lives and make money and not be drafted to go fight in fucking Taiwan and Israel. But realistically, guys, if the wrong party wins this, censorship goes up. They might try to go after X, which is the only free platform we have. They might try to draft us for some bullshit war for the Jewish-Israeli propaganda machine that controls our country. And we can't have that happen.
There will never be a real election in this country again if the left wins. They will naturalize every single illegal immigrant they bought in. They tried to do it in the border security bill, and that's why it did not pass. You got to forget the names of these bills and look at the content within them. They were going to try and naturalize every single illegal immigrant. It's all bullshit. Trump needs to win to save this country and save the world.
Facts, 100%. I'm going to pull up Twitter right now, guys, and let's see. Are we live on Twitter right now, Fishing? Can you check on your end? Yeah, I have this connected to my Twitter. I don't know. Yeah. Guys, are we live on Twitter right now? Yeah. Really? Yeah. What's it look like? Oh, that's sick. That is so sick. Guys, what are your thoughts right now? How are we feeling about, obviously, remember, this is early. This number right here, 168 to 34, this is bullshit. They're doing that on purpose so that they have what's called plausible deniability. And if there is any bullshit that happens, they're going to go, oh, the votes just weren't counted. It was counted late. It's absolutely bullshit.
I will say, definitely this time, I would imagine there's a lot more safeguards in place. I know the Trump campaign was saying they put out 200,000 poll watchers and like 500 attorneys across only the swing states. So there's probably more safeguards in place, but still, I mean, they did it. Honestly, they did it in 2020. Like they could do it again. Yeah, agreed.
Enlightenment. I do want to talk about this, but I got to be careful because this is YouTube still. Trump is owned by the Zionists.
One step at a time.
Here's the thing. I don't disagree with you. And so Danny is Jewish. Danny is Ashkenazi. How do you say it? Ashkenazi.
My mother is Ashkenazi Jewish.
Russian, though. Big difference. Russian Jewish. Big difference. And we talk about this all the time. I'm going to start talking about this more publicly for you guys. But me and my friends talk about this all day. Like we talk about free energy stuff. He's obsessed with this whole free energy, the UFO disappearing planes thing, which is real. Ashton Forbes. And we talk about politics all the time. We're very informed about what's going on. And I agree with you. I think part of this is kind of like a circus. This is like the old Roman Colosseum. Give the people, what is he saying? Give people entertainment, wine and beer and cheap food, and they're going to throw everything away. They're comfortable, right? Which is a lot of young men in our generation. But we got to go one step at a time. The left, you're fucked. The right, we have a chance to fix things even still. And I know people like Nick Fuentes. Bro, fuck Nick Fuentes. That guy is I think he's a closeted homosexual, 100%, like undoubtedly, which is fine. What's this? Can you grab Luke's phone and let me up? Oh, yeah. I got to let somebody up with security real fast, guys. Tell him to go ahead and call. It's fine. Anyway, but like it's all bullshit. Like I saw Fuentes like, oh, I hope Kamala Harris gets elected because then we'll get our Hitler back. You don't want that to happen. If you know anything about history, if you study history, if you watch history, one sec, guys. Hey, send him up, please. Thank you, boss. If you know anything about history, it's not good. It is not good for anybody. If that happens, there will be so many of us that die in a needless war for no reason. Either way is bad. So the only hope that we have, at least in my opinion and Danny's opinion and what we talk about a lot, is, do I like AIPAC and do I like all these Israeli handlers of everything? No, I don't. Do I support the war that's happening right there? No, I 100% think it's genocide. 100%. Undoubtedly, I will argue that with anybody. And that goes all the way back to like the nation state of Israel is not the Israel of the Bible. I'm Christian. Danny is studying Christianity. His father's Christian. It is not the same Israel. And that's like the biggest mistake that everyone makes is like Charlie Kirk is a plant. He is a Israeli asset. So yes, it's two wings of the same bird. However, you have to make a choice. You can either opt out and be like, oh, I'm not going to be part of the system. I'm not going to vote. Then you're removing any power that you do have until things become like a forceful situation, right? And until that happens, voting is the only thing that you can do. And all these guys that are like, oh, I'm just going to sit by and I'm just going to do nothing. I think you're very wrong. I think you're very mistaken, you know? The 4 years under Trump was when I changed my life. That was honestly like, that was during Trump. Yeah. It was our 4 years. We moved. I remember moving to Miami, guys, in 2021. It was like the golden age of everything. Crypto was up. The market was up. The economy was phenomenal. There was no inflation. Interest rates were low, right? And your president is not your savior. But when you have fucking retards like Kamala Harris trying to do any sort of foreign policy, economic, everything, whatever, She's fake. She is a puppet.
Well, she's an empty vessel. Like it's not. If she does win, it's not going to be her making any decision. She's an empty, like she's like a pop balloon. It's going to be whoever her handlers are and whoever's really running this. Like whoever's really the president right now. It's not going to be them, but it's that same type of concept. It's a group of people and they're running it. It's not going to be her.
And the only thing that we can do about that is the young men of this country become educated, become informed about what is actually happening. You guys would be shocked at the amount of people that have no idea about any of this. No idea. No idea. No fucking idea. And that's the first step, is you have to become educated. You have to understand what's going on. You have to understand who your actual enemies are. This is as much of a battle as there has ever been, at least in my life. You know, like I remember being a kid, I almost went to the military because I was indoctrinated in a small town by all these military recruiters coming to my school. They would literally play 9/11 on the TVs. And I was like radicalized to go hate these people in the Middle East and be like, oh, I need to go to war and protect my country. It's fucking bullshit. There is no protecting your country. And I don't want to say crazy shit and get banned on YouTube, but you guys can infer what I'm saying, right? This is all to now been a part of a greater plan of people that hate us. They want nothing to do. What's up, Sai? You want to say hi? We got Sai in here, boys.
How you guys doing?
Sai's next up.
Are we winning?
We're winning now, right now. As of now, we're winning. This is all part of a greater plan, and these people fucking hate you guys. They hate you. They hate masculinity. They hate God. They hate Christianity. They hate the family. They hate everything that you stand for and everything that is good in this world. And until we wake up and we start to actually put our foot down and decide, okay, I don't want to be a fucking slave and a puppet the rest of my life to AIPAC and my Israeli overlords and your social security number, which is basically your cattle brand of you are revenue and income for the people that own you. Okay. Until we realize that, and it's a long battle ahead for us to change that. And honestly, I don't know if we can, but at least do something about it. Like I would rather go down fighting than I would live a life of a lie.
We went to war for a 2% T-tax not too long ago, 150 years, like not long ago at all.
That's so crazy.
It's starting again. We're getting rid of federal income tax, maybe. Exchange it for tariffs, and we're saving this fucking country.
God, that was crazy that it was for 2%.
I know. It was a 2% tax on tea. And we let the taxation creep in. The same way tyranny creeps in. Tyranny comes when good men of good conscience do nothing. That's when 100%. Tyranny comes. And then once it's there, it's too late. Go look at any country in history that's had tyrannical governments. That's how it happens.
The second they take away our guns, here's the doomsday plan for everybody. If you're unaware, Kamala wins tonight, this week, whatever it is, right? This is doomsday plan. Kamala wins. They start to go after firearms and the Second Amendment. Why? Because look at all around the world, what countries do not have guns and are absolutely shells of their former selves right now?
Cut to the government.
The United Kingdom, yep. London. London is under fucking Sharia law. Look
what's happening to those cities in the UK. It's a joke.
Immigration, unflowed, unchecked. Sharia law, which I have a ton of Islamic friends and brothers and Muslim brothers. I have a lot of respect for Islam. I'm not this guy that's going to like sit on here and shit on Islam. But there is absolutely no reason that you're putting my English, and I say white as far as like a culture, not a race of people, but you have this like white culture, beautiful, like London and the UK is such a beautiful culture, and it's dead. It is fucking toast. It will never, ever, ever, ever come back to where it was, because what happened? You have no firearms. You can't fight back. They do whatever you want or whatever they want to you. How are you going to fight back, bro? You can't. There's absolutely no chance. The only chance we have right now is if Kamala does win this and they start to go after that, is the people wake up and the people put their foot down and decide, okay, we fucking had enough of this. And I think there is a very finite window of time where that can actually happen. And it's still kind of pessimistic, because look at COVID. They locked you in your house. They told you can't go to church. They broke up your family. You watched your family die. My grandpa died from the vaccine because he was fucking brainwashed by the news. And he was a conservative, very smart guy. But these older people, they believe the news because in their time, the news and everything was not evil. The government wasn't evil in their eyes, you know? So the point that I'm trying to make, guys, is you got to stand up for yourself. And if you are in the United States of America and you are a young man, it is your moral obligation and duty to become informed, to understand what's happening. Don't sit on your ass and just give in to pleasure and all this bullshit that they're trying to distract you with. Like, oh, NFL Sunday and all this bullshit food, and I'm going to be unhealthy, and I'm a fucking zombie of myself, and I smoke weed all day. Does that guy fight back when things get bad? Absolutely not.
Even if he does, it's too late.
It's too late.
Way too late.
It's way too late.
Way too late. Yeah, there's 800 viewers.
This is the most I've ever had by far.
Oh.
I wanted to send a super chat. How do you do super chats? I'm reading the chat, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
It's okay. Donate to the Trump campaign.
You got to chill out. YouTube might get you. Guys, what questions do you have? Because I would love to be a force of education for you guys that are like just not informed about this stuff, because I've gone down the rabbit hole the last couple of years. Really, like I grew up really poor, and I never got help from the government. Like, we were on welfare, you could say, as far as like being poor. We didn't get jack shit. Nothing. There was nothing coming to help us.
And why would you want help from the government too? Why would you want to be?
Well, my point now is I pay all this tax. Like, guys, I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in tax, and I didn't get shit from it when I was the one that needed it. You know, it, like you said. What did you say earlier? We're not a democracy. We're a what?
We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic with individual liberty and freedom for every single person. A democracy is a majority rule situation. We're not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic.
Yep.
The media has made the word democracy seem like a very positive term. It's not. That's a majority rules. 51% rules over the 49. We're a constitutional republic with guaranteed God-given rights written in the Constitution. It's individual liberty and freedom for all. It's not a democracy.
And thank God we have the Electoral College, at least, and we're not doing a popular vote, because then all of your power is just warped by these few major blue cities. And guys, there's a real pattern here that I've really, this year I've become very, very close to God. It's been like one of the hardest years of my life. And I think there's a reason for that. And it's because as the closer you get to God, I feel like you're more of a target. Yeah. Like 100%. Like Mike Tyson said in this clip, he's like, if you're favored by God, it means you're also favored by the devil. And that's 100% real. And as that has happened, I've been watching these liberal people, and yeah, there's some good ones. Obviously there's good and bad on both sides. But I've been watching this left, and I've been reading past history. Like, do you guys know in the Bible, like the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Like, God annihilated this city with fucking meteors from the sky, right? You know what they were doing then? It was homosexuality everywhere. It was transgenderism. They were worshiping pagan gods where they were literally castrating themselves. They were worshiping gods where they sacrificed their children. What do you think modern sacrifice of children is? It's fucking abortion. It's all of these babies that are dying. They don't just kill the baby and let the baby go in the trash or wherever. They use it for money. It's an evil, 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 evil business. And it is the biggest topic right now that is the decider between who gets fucking elected. I had a tweet go viral. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm going to show you this. Let's look at this tweet here. And now part of this was a joke, okay? So don't take me fully serious, guys. I had this mega viral tweet. I said about the Tom Brady situation.
I mean, it's facts.
It is fact. This is the point I want to make, because I talked to my mom about this.
You missed the blow up IED or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, the first quote.
No, that's this thing. This is a
3.3 thousand likes.
What's the thing that goes in the girl's arms?
That goes in there inside of them.
Yeah.
It's an IUD.
That's what
like, guys, these people are faggots.
Like,
what are you doing? What are you and all of you slappable little punch in the face looking people? What are you doing? By the way, guys, these people are on the payroll of the DNC. Do you think that any testosterone possessing man would do this kind of thing? No. This is what you call demonic influence, okay?
They're actually being paid by media companies via the like it's true. Like, it's not like
100%. Yeah, like guys, look at these photos. White dudes for Harris, and they're tagging them. Look at this one. White dudes for Harris. Real men protect reproductive rights. Okay, hairy little sissy faggot man. You want to protect the right for women to kill children? Do you guys know that of abortion cases, like real abortion cases, like 0.001% is actually for emergency or rape or incest or some like fucked up thing. Where honestly, I believe in that situation, you have the freedom to do what you want. But if you are irresponsible and you just want to be a fucking whore and sleep around and live a very sinful, evil, nasty life, which is synonymous with all the problems that we have now, and then you just want to have like a get out of jail free card, I don't think that you should be able to do that. I think it's evil. I think it's child sacrifice. It is literally ritual child sacrifice. Gavin, you're right. Most abortions are black babies. So let me ask you this, Gavin, which you know this already, but for everyone listening, why is it that the people that always pull the race card and say that the right is racist and Trump is racist and we hate black people and we all this bullshit that is not true, how come they're the ones that are responsible for more fatalities of African American and minority folk than anybody else? Does that make any fucking sense to you? That's the point. Everything they say is a lie. It is all bullshit. They hate you. They want you dead. They want to exterminate you. They want to castrate you. And they want to basically, and we can't go down this rabbit hole because we'll get banned on YouTube. But the whole plan is to, what's the word? What's the global, no. They want to kill everybody. But what's the word? No, there's a word. Alex Jones uses this word. Oh, what's the word? Oh, it's Soros. The like genetic thing. The overall worldwide plan to like basically kill everyone that's not what they believe. It's not genocide, it's some other word. But anyway, they want to kill you.
And if you're ever interested, go look up the originations of Planned Parenthood and what organization it was before and how it became Planned Parenthood and who was funding it.
Hey, Sai, can you do me a favor? Can you put 3 coals on the burner?
These are evil organizations. Yeah, Pete's got it. That's my guy, Pete, by the way.
What's up, Pete?
Pete voted for Trump.
Attaboy, Pete.
Pete voted for Trump and his girl, too.
What a
And his
patriot.
wife. Great. I sent him a...
Oh, Tret's in here. Oh, epigenetics.
No, eugenics.
Eugenics. I don't know what
Stop.
epigenetics is.
Stop.
Eugenics. It's eugenics, guys.
Yeah.
They literally... And it sounds crazy until you start to actually learn, and then every piece of the plan makes sense. Like you could erase hunger, homelessness, and really like massive poverty in this country with under $100 billion. Like that's a real fact. That is a statistical fact. We've given damn near $1 trillion to Israel, Ukraine, wherever the fuck else we give them money. Lebanon, we just gave money to.
The United Nations. The United States
Nations.
The United States government was funding the salaries of foreign United Nations employees who were facilitating the transfer of illegal migrants from their country into the United States. The United States was funding their salaries via the United Nations to bring illegals from Venezuela, any country in South America, to the United States. We funded that. We flew them here on planes. We chartered them here, damn near on PJs. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they got peanuts when they were on the plane too.
I didn't fucking fly on an airplane until I was 21 years old because I was poor in America. But these fucking illegal people, they get first class flights. It's crazy. It's crazy. What did somebody just say here? So, like Pete, for example, don't bring up this. This is the hot topic, right? Why is it that every time you bring this up, you get attacked? Why is that? If I suddenly, Luke Alexander, became a racist and said bad things about black people on Twitter, nothing would happen. People would laugh. I would get, honestly, a lot of like support from that, right? But the second you say anything bad or critical of Israel, I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't hate the Jewish people. I have a lot of Jewish friends, very good friends. But I don't like the fact that this fucking country that has no alliance with us, and if you guys don't know what the dancing Israelis situation was, basically a whole bunch of U.S. naval, are you called navalmen? Seamen? Seamen? U.S. seamen were attacked by Israel. When was this? Like the 90s, 80s? Like
There was a battle, yeah.
They were murdered because at the time they were trying to set up what is happening today, which is this Israel-Palestine conflict, drawing everybody in for World War III. They tried to do it then, but but it failed. And then it ended up just killing a bunch of American soldiers on a naval vessel right off the shore of Israel. Like it is extremely obvious and in your face, guys. And I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not like, I will not stand for any of that bullshit. But you have to understand what is going on, and you have to stand up for it, because the shining light of this is, guys, these people really don't have any power outside of political influence. If there were to be a war, these people would get fucking folded. They would get folded in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
They are not men. They cannot fight. They cannot withstand hardship. They work in the shadows. They do political pulling of strings to fuck you and economically cripple you so that you don't even have time to think about things like these. That's the reality of the situation. Why do they want to eradicate the West? So they hate you. The West is the last bastion of freedom in this world. And if you get rid of the West, your whole plan of whatever you want to do, let's just say whatever they want to do, your plan is then able to be enacted upon because you have no resistance, right? How do you cripple the West? How do you eradicate the West? Well, first you go after the family unit. That has been successfully done, okay? Second, you go after social problems. It is impossible for, we are good men. I have so many great, amazing guys. We can't even find a girl to take on a date in the 21st century. And yeah, we live in Miami.
Whoa, speak for yourself, buddy.
Shut up. And yeah, we live in Miami. That's not the best, but it's a social problem that all these girls are fucking brainwashed. They're literally brainwashed 100%. They don't believe in themselves. That's crazy. But they're brainwashed. So what do you do if you want to attack the West and you want to eradicate freedom? You go after the only person that stands any threat to you, which throughout all of history, what is that? It's young, radicalized men that have had a fucking enough of something. Okay? 1776, you have the British colonies. It's not America. It's the British colonies. Britain was the greatest empire that the world had ever seen. You can go to Alexander,
Outside
whatever.
of, Asia.
Yeah, but in the modern age,
Western culture.
greatest empire the world had ever seen. And then they started a little fuckery. They started to get a little bit greedy. They started to get a little Israeli, like of what's happening today. And you know what happened? A group of young men, you guys don't even know this if you don't read history. The founding fathers were like our age. They were in their 20s and 30s.
They were in their mid to late 20s.
Some of them were 17,
Yep.
16, 15. And they said, you know what? I've had a fuck enough of this. I'm going to go fight back against all odds, insurmountable odds, certain death. And then we had the greatest golden era in human history of the founding of America. And then all of the things that we got to where we're now here. And the only way to destroy America, the only way, you can't invade America. If you know anything about tactical warfare, you can't invade America. There are mountains that surround us. There's a massive ocean that surrounds us. You can't invade us through the southern border with a military. You can't invade us through the Canadian border with military. You can't fly over us. You can't even really shoot nukes at us because we'll zap that shit out of the sky. The only thing that you can actually do to cripple America is destroy it from the inside. And that is exactly what their goal is right now. So you asked that question. You said, why do they want to destroy the West? That is why. And there's multiple other reasons, but that is the sole reason. When those coals are ready, just put them on like a bowl, like a ceramic bowl.
They also made a quarter, 20 to 25% of Generation Z LGBTQ. They don't want you reproducing.
Water, please.
That's why they promote all of that stuff. They don't want people reproducing. They want children to be wards of the state. Look what California just passed. You can get, I'm pretty sure, you can get, actually, Camilla did this. She prosecuted parents whose children weren't going to school. And there was an example of like a family where the kid was in the hospital and the police came and arrested the parents for not sending the kid to school. It's called like truancy or something. That's what they want to do. They want to take the children away and they want to prevent the future generations from having children. So they have a smaller populace to control, bring in the illegals, and you have a permanent one-party state, and it's gone. It's over. There's nothing you can do.
So, talking about Doomsday Plan. Talking about the Doomsday Plan. I'm going to put the hat on backwards here. The Doomsday Plan is Kamala wins. They flood the country with even more illegals than they did before. And they swing the Electoral College in their favor because they're the ones that are giving these illegals everything. So, common sense, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. They're going to vote blue, okay? That's the goal. They want to win. They want to take away your guns. They want to castrate young men. They want to flood the country with illegals and turn the rest of the United States into California. But the problem is you can't leave your California if it is the entire United States. And then, if you guys didn't know this, this is like the black pill. During the Trump administration, at the peak of their exportation of illegals, they were getting about 80,000 people. I think it's a year. I'm pretty sure a year. I might be mistaken. Maybe a month. Actually, it might be a month. 80,000 a month. Somebody fact check me. 80,000 a month. So you're getting what, like $1 million a year, if that, exported. We've had 20 million illegal people come into this country under the Biden administration. Okay. Even if we ramped up and we did 2 million a year exportation, or 2 million a month, or no, it would be a year. You feasibly, mathematically, are not going to get rid of everyone that came into the country in any forcible way. You can't. So we're already kind of fucked in that sense with the whole, we don't know who's in the country. We don't know what's going on. We don't know who the fuck is here to attack us, to vote for whatever, to destroy and eradicate our culture. But if they get elected and they get into office, we're looking at a situation where they're going to put 50 million, 100 million people into this country. And then a third of the United States, which I think is like 350 million people, is now illegals who do not share your culture. They do not share your values. And guys, illegal immigrants, like I know amazing ones in Miami. There's a lot of them, okay? Just because you're an immigrant doesn't make you bad. But the fact that you can come in unchecked is the problem. That is the bad thing. And the second that happens, like Danny just said, and this was on the Elon Rogan podcast, we're now in a situation where we have a one-party system. No one will be able to win against them because they will own the Electoral College. And then we are fucked, 100% fucked, unless there is like a true uprising of some sort. But the only way that happens is when everyone is united, and we're very divided as a country. So let's get some questions in here. We got, thanks for I guess these are super chats. Marcos, Luke, you're one of my inspirations and role models. I'm from Brazil, 17, trying to make money online and hope to one day come to Miami, be friends with you. You're a G. Thank you so much, brother. God bless you. And yeah, bro, you're on the right path. If you're watching this kind of content, you're on the right path. So I believe in you, dude. I 100% believe in you. Let's get some questions in here, guys. Good question, Ryan. So it's because the left has lied to all these easily manipulated women and convinced them that Trump is bad man that wants to take the rights away. First off, murdering people is not a right that you should have. Second off, it is a state issue. Even if Kamala wins, there is nothing going to change about abortion. Zero. Zip. It's a state issue. The Supreme Court ruled on this already. You can't flip it. The whole thing is literally a political, like, propaganda point of saying, hey, they're going to take away your abortion when they can't even change it anyway because the Supreme Court ruled. So that, Ryan, that's basically their whole selling point, is because they know who's the most impressionable population we have. It's women, okay? It's young women. They're not very fucking intelligent when they're getting manipulated by all this shit and birth control and big pharma and all this stuff, right?
Kanye said it best. Who's got your bitch? Instagram's got your bitch. Kanye said it best.
Facts. But that's why. And now that is the big, like, realistically, Ryan, you could boil it down to the fact that women want to kill their babies is why we're going to go to World War III. That's a real statement. Sounds preposterous, but it's a real fucking statement. We got digital launchpad people in here. Left wing, white ring is the same bird. Yeah, it's the same bird. But there's only so much we can do about it right now. You know, so you got to do what you can.
One move at a time. You got to look at the chessboard. One move at a time.
One move at a time. Let's get some chats rolling in here, guys. What are you thinking? Oh, here, let's do a little update. Let's check in on the states. Here we go. Let's put a better one on here. Where's what's this? Live from Fox Now.
Top of this operation. All right. But there have been a lot of concerns. I mean, look, when the Iowa poll came out, Ann Selzer showing a lot of problem with
you guys hear the audio?
Women voters in Iowa for Trump. You know, you started seeing that reflected by Trump himself on stage
yeah, if you can hear
at
the
these
audio.
rallies. All right, whether it's performative on purpose,
It's like a
or whether he's just getting tired and worn out, whatever the reason, he's very transparent in his emotions and how he's feeling about things. We've always known that about him. So I don't know. Look, the early results that we're seeing, again, go back to the Sun Belt, especially Georgia and North Carolina, doing incredibly well there. And if these exit polls turn out to be correct, with a larger number of men breaking for Trump, especially with minorities, Black and Latino voters, that gives a lot of confidence. All right. And you can see that reflected in the crowd. But there's still a lot of concerns with women breaking hard for Harris. All right.
Because of
in the
abortion.
last couple of days of the race. So still a lot to be determined here.
Yeah,
It's still,
Tom,
this is early.
It is early, Tom. I mean, I keep reiterating that point. We have a live picture, though, at Harris's election night watch party there on the campus of Howard University. Of course, she's an alum there. So let's talk about how the Harris campaign might be.
If you are Black and you think Kamala Harris and the left has your best interest at heart, you are fucking brainwashed. They hate you 100%. Like, you guys know the Democrat Party founded the KKK, right? You know David Duke, the leader of the KKK, endorsed Kamala Harris. Like, I don't know how else to convince you, okay? It's ridiculous.
Or not here. What does that mean?
Here, let's look at a better one here. I want one of the better ones. CNBC. No. Here's PBD. Oh, they got Candace Owens talking. Oh, we got Tucker. What's Tucker talking about?
Probably the first 6 or 7 of them will be completely dishonest, but when the distance has grown sufficient that we can be honest about what happened,
in the cabinet.
I think we will understand that the endorsement of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. of Donald Trump in this campaign, late in this campaign, was a sea change in American politics. Not just a benefit to Trump at the time, but a sign of a true realignment, long overdue.
Okay, we're going to pull up a real election counter. Yep, perfect, brother. Is this real time? Here, we're pulling up. Here we go, guys.
What's going on?
I'm trying to find like a proper live election map counter thing. These are all bullshit.
Google has one.
They're ready. Yep. I just sent them on the steel. I'll put them there. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Here we go. What the fuck is this? The ones from the TV are not showing up here. Which ones? Oh, here we go. Well, what is this?
Draw videos. You're looking for like a map where you can click into counties?
No, like the thing that is playing in the living room. Here we go.
YouTube TV.
Oh my god.
Are we winning?
This guy.
Yeah.
We are.
How are they not live? See this, guys? They don't want you to watch this shit. That's crazy.
There you go. One of those, yeah, for sure.
This one. There we go. We got to see Pennsylvania. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, much better. Oh, dude, he's going to win that.
You hear the programming, we can be up all night or beyond. And they've been saying this all week. They're like, oh, well, it takes all these days to count the ballots because the year.
See how that shakes up.
Bullshit.
About 9:53. We've got more polls set to close soon. Candidates hoping to strike gold in the silver state, Nevada, rolling their dice. We're heading into the final stretch. More poll closings across the West, including another battle.
It happened.
Nevada and its 6 electoral
Say hi to
college
people first.
votes could be critical.
Nevada, get out and vote. Nevada, ours.
Okay, let's look at this chat here.
Both sides going all in, trying to win the state.
Okay, I'm looking at the chat now, guys. Let's see. Damn, there's a lot of you guys. Guys, 1,200 people is the most I've ever had on a stream. So thank you for tuning in. Will Trump take away work permits? No, like this is propaganda. Like, why would you, with a work permit and an actual reason to be in this country, be denied? Like, it was built on immigrants. We're not forgetting that fact, right? It's propaganda. Facts, bro. Sorry, Matt. I'm mentally challenged right now. You want some wine?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Come on, bro. Drink some wine with me. Guys, tell Cy. Yeah, he's catching up on Pennsylvania, which is a good sign because when I looked earlier, it was like 30-60. It was really, really, really bad. Here, let's tune in here.
Beyond the county recorder. That county recorder means you have 40 minutes to go left if you've reached this point. Meanwhile, though, we're hearing about lines that continue to be long all across the state, southern Nevada. There's a place called Nye County where we're hearing lines that are up to 3 hours long. They don't have enough machines per people in that county. What that means is, unfortunately, because they cannot really release the data on how many people have voted, who has voted, some of the returns until the last person in line across the state has voted, it means numbers are going to be very
nothing has
slow.
changed.
They can obviously tabulate sort of in person. They can tabulate the early voting. They can tabulate the mail-in ballots, but they can't release any of that data until the last person has left the line, which means it's going to mean a lot more coffee tonight for people that are trying to watch the vote. Also, one thing to keep track of, the nonpartisan vote. That's the reason why we're in Washoe County. This is an incredibly purple county. People vote the issues, they vote their feelings. They don't vote party line, which leads us to talk about nonpartisans. It is a third of the electorate in this state. Higher share than Republicans, higher share than Democrats.
If we win Pennsylvania, it's
we're
over.
not sure which way they're going to vote, which has been
it's over.
confounding
We got Georgia,
pundits.
we got North Carolina.
And it's been really tough for people trying to read the tea leaves of what exactly the numbers mean. I've spoken to both campaigns in the state. Both
if you guys don't remember,
Trojan horse, of course, Democrats.
If you guys don't remember, I was watching this live in 2020. In 2020, Trump was winning like pretty good in Georgia. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we got to like recount. There's like some water pipes fucking broke or something. And then there was literally a vertical. If you guys know how data works, when you have a line graph of data tallying like a volume of something, you cannot have mathematically a vertical spike.
This is it. Oh, you can't see it.
You can't see it. Go show it. You can show it.
All right, let me know.
I'll tell you if it's focused.
Pete sent this. Say shout out. Pete sent this.
Okay, Pete sent this. Back it up a little bit. Click your phone so it like focuses. Back it up. Back it up. It ain't gonna work. I'll pull it up. What is it?
I'll send it to you.
Guys, this is what we're talking about. Tell me what to Google because my computer's not connected to my phone.
All right, I texted it to you.
I'll just airdrop it to myself. Guys, you got to see this because I remember watching this live. Oh, Justin, Harry Sisson is a faggot.
January 2nd. That guy's cool.
Oh, my God. I don't know if you guys can see this because it didn't work. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. You see that big blue spike, guys?
And that's at like 5 a.m.
That is a statistical improbability. That is impossible. Impossibility. Yeah. So basically, this is the stats in Georgia in 2020. Like, Trump is massively outpacing. Like, this is a good, healthy lead, which as data goes, like, if you have a lead and it's not super close, it's not going to, like, dip back into each other. You're going to have, like, a little separation there, like you see. At, like, 3 a.m, I remember watching this live. The people on the TV were literally like, oh, yeah, Trump's got it, and then just blue vertical spike. Impossible. It's fucking bullshit. And they tried to dispute them, and then everyone started the gaslighting of, oh, but it's a free election. You can't question the election integrity. Oh, really? You mean the election that we have fucking, what's the company? Dominion voting machines that literally was proven to be rigged. Proven.
A couple of those people who worked there got arrested for rigging elections in other countries. Dominion. So, like.
And you're going to tell me that's fucking real? Let's check back in. Okay, let's see how we're doing.
economy, right? You talked about the Republican governor, that largely driven by anger over pandemic shutdowns on the Strip, et cetera. No tax on tips. I'll also tell you another number. I think it's $3.80, just about $3.79. That's the price of a gallon of gas in Nevada, the highest of any battleground state. The economy is a big factor in this state, as are the Latino population, of course. And that's another factor that
Democrats for a long time had a big registration advantage, but that's all but disappeared. And as you mentioned, a Republican won statewide office, the governor's race in 2022.
It's also one of these states with an abortion ballot initiative as well, and a state that the Trump campaign believes you could see some ticket splitters on that.
And it's a competitive Senate race in Nevada as well. We talked about the fact that some of these Senate races, if you rewind about a month ago, weren't so competitive. It is incredibly tight. Senator Jackie Rosen looking for another term.
Look, if the way so far that Donald Trump's performing tonight versus Harris, this really is an indictment of the Democratic Party for the last 3 years. Because you want to talk about Nevada, you talk about the voter registration advantage. Republicans, basically, for the first 3 years of this presidential cycle, just destroyed the Democrats on voter registration. All across the country in the battleground states, Republican registration advantage. The last 3 months, Democrats have done well. 3 years versus 3 months. So far, the 3 years is paying some dividends for Trump.
All right, there's the countdown. We are waiting for another batch of closings, and this will bring us to battleground Nevada, which is our last battleground state we've not heard from, or the last to close the polls. NBC News can make a projection now in the state of Utah. NBC projects that Donald Trump will win in Utah.
Imagine that. A God-fearing Christian state voted for Donald Trump.
West of Montana, 4 electoral votes. Donald Trump, the projected winner in Montana tonight. Here's the map. The road to 270. Donald Trump now with 201. Harris with 81. That's the road to 270.
Well, let's put Nevada up on the map here. It is, as you might expect, too early to call. And if you remember, in 2020, we didn't get a result in Nevada until Saturday, so we could be waiting a while. In fact, you can send your result. Oh, we remember. You can send your result. Don't even bring it up. Everyone's triggered here.
Bro, that picture of the Lambo and the horse is like the hardest photo
ever. I've got to say, that was a Saturday call as well in 2020. Michigan, too close to call there. Let's see how
Michigan will probably go Kamala.
Just 16%.
Which is fine. Fuck Michigan. Go Buckeyes. Michigan sucks ass.
We'll move over to the state just nearby, Wisconsin, the other industrial Midwest battleground. 35% in. They are making some progress,
we'll win,
but too close to call. Georgia, too close to call, but we are getting
too close to call my ass.
We can get down into the counties in just a bit. We're coming down. This is right over there, North Carolina as well. Starting to count more votes. Too close to call. And finally, out west, the great battleground state of Arizona. Too close to call. That's another one that may take several days before we get results. So let's go.
But what the fuck?
Like it's just so unprecedented.
It's Fugazi. It's Fugazi. Guys, if we win Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, we hit 270, we win. Okay? Trump wins. I run through the streets of Brickell with a fucking flag on my back, my Trump hat on my head, and I yell at every blue-haired liberal person that I see. Okay? But we do not want to get hopeful and think that this is in the bag, because we did that last time and they fucked us. Okay, so let's tune back in.
Is on top. 71% of the vote is in. He got 65 in 2020, 65%. He's now at 64. He's essentially performing where he needs to be. I also want to see how the vote is in these Western communities, Western PA communities, because fracking was a big.
How the fuck did he get shot in the ear in Butler County and 30% of people were like, you know what? I'm still going to vote for Kamala.
I don't know how anyone's voting for Kamala, to be honest.
That's crazy.
I actually don't understand how anyone's voting for Kamala.
In real life, and I'm not in an echo chamber, like I know a lot of people, in real life, I know one Kamala supporter. One. In
2020, remember, he has to do a little bit better. Erie's the one that we're going to be watching. This is the big swing county. We only have 1% in. The reason why we're watching this is because Erie almost always picks the winner of the election here. But we only have 1% in Erie County, but we'll be watching that. Let's move east now, because I know we have a lot of people from the Philadelphia area on the anchor desk tonight. See what's happening over there. Let's start in Chester County. Okay, so I'm going to give a quick whip around here. 2020, remember. So Harris has to drive up the vote in the suburbs just like Biden did and try to turn out that vote in Philadelphia County. So Chester's one of those ring counties.
Don't get excited yet,
over to Delaware County here. She's overperforming there. Only a quarter of the votes in. Let's get to Philadelphia County here. 79%. She's going to want to increase those numbers. Again, we're still waiting on a lot of the vote. It's still very early. Remember, some of these counties are going to report late. Monco, 28% in, 69% overperforming there. This is where Governor Shapiro is. You may remember that. She closed out.
Let's talk about that, guys. Let's talk about that.
What is the what is synonymous with Meek Mill, LeBron James, J-Lo, all of these people? What do they have in common?
What do they tell us? Tell us, man.
Guys, you want to see? You want to see something?
Diddy.
Oh, we're froze. I'm froze. They're trying to end me.
They're attacking.
Can't kill me.
We will fight back.
Guys, let's look at this. Harris's biggest celebrity endorsements. Oh, Oprah Winfrey. What do we know about Oprah Winfrey? Well, little known fact that maybe not popular mainstream consciousness. Oprah Winfrey is very large in the human trafficking industry. If you don't believe me, go research it, okay? Let's look at who else. Oh, Taylor Swift. Oh, you mean the lady that is related to Aleister Crowley, who is like the founder of the satanic church of fucking demon worshipers? Oh, Taylor Swift that has like all the impressionable young women that want to get abortions following her? Okay. Lady Gaga. Oh, okay. Let's look at something. Let me show you guys something. You may not know about this. Lady Gaga, spirit cooking. Lady Gaga eats children. See this shit? What the fuck is that? Okay, I'm going to teach you guys something. See this Lady Gaga. That's demonic as fuck, okay? You know who this is standing beside her? That is like something Ibrahimovich, whatever the fuck her name is, okay? She and George Soros have an art exhibition of demonic human sacrifice that was publicized on the mainstream media like adamantly. Also ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, interesting. Really interesting. So let's go back to this. Not get carried away here. Who else we got? Get this shit out of my fucking thing. Okay, here we go. Oh, Katy Perry, also in the same fucking boat. Okay, same boat. Joe Rogan, based man. Trump, imagine that. Not eating children, not raping little kids. I don't know any of these fucking people. Jake Paul, a little bit of a bozo, high testosterone man. Trump, okay? Who else we got? 50 Cent, Trump. Imagine that. Oh, see, it's giving us a redacted list. You see this, Danny? It's not putting any of the
These are all for Camilla right here.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg.
So basically, guys,
It's all Hollywood. It's all
Hollywood, the home of satanic worship, brainwashing, eating children, evil, is supporting and endorsing Kamala Harris. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is supporting Kamala Harris. Why would Bill Gates be supporting Kamala Harris? Let's take a wild guess. Why would Bill?
That man's got his hand in everything.
Why would Jeffrey Bill Gates be supporting Kamala Harris?
There's some lists. There's at least two people that everyone knows about.
Yeah, there's these two people
lists that no one wants to be public.
Yeah, there's these two people, Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy, that all of these people happen to be tied in with, just magically are endorsing Kamala Harris. Makes sense, okay? But your country singers, your based people, your Dana White, Mel Gibson, great movies, right? Kid Rock, Jason Aldean, supporting Trump. There's a pattern here. Elon Musk, goat, supporting Trump.
Trying to push humanity forward.
I wonder why. Anyway, fuck this. These people are evil. They hate you. Let's pull back up the election update here. Let's see if we got any stats.
You know what the 19th is? Some kids that repealed the 19th.
Number with those seniors. So those are three things
I know.
I'm seeing very early.
You want to get in here, Logan? Guys, look at my brother's jersey.
In general, Trump is running up numbers in rural better than he did in 2020, which has to concern the Harris campaign.
And we talked a lot about young men.
Yeah.
Young men working for Trump. We saw the MAGA hats and some of the long lines at the universities.
Yep.
Is that unexpected, the level of the lines you're seeing?
I think both sides have a little bit of excitement here. I've talked to Harris officials in the last hour who said, look at the lines in Penn State,
Probably
look at the
still
lines
is.
in Arizona, look at the lines in the Philly college campuses. They feel really good about their ground operation. They have the best ground operation person in American politics in Jenna
Hey,
Malin-Dillon
Hitchum,
as
get
the
the
chair,
fuck out of my
who's
live. You are
built
now
a
banned.
billion-dollar field campaign for
Get out of
this
my
moment,
fucking live.
and they're really going for it on the college campuses.
Don't
and
make
they
fun
kind
of
of need
Danny.
it right now.
Jim Messina, good to see you. Thank
Get
you.
the fuck out of
We've got
here.
a winner to announce. Kamala Harris takes Colorado as expected. Used to be a battleground years and years ago, but has really trended to
the
the
land of
Democrats
child
in the last
trafficking,
couple of
hippies, and
presidential cycles.
drugs.
And here's how it shakes out. With
Makes
54%
sense.
of the vote counted in Colorado, they vote by mail, and those ballots get to be counted
The
quite
Avengers
quickly.
are
So we
gay.
see
The Avengers
Kamala
are, in
Harris will
fact,
take
extremely gay,
Colorado,
Jaden.
so
You're a
we can
based
fill
young
out the
man.
map just a little bit more as we lay out the road to 270, but those big battleground states, we have yet to call one of the battleground states for Kamala Harris. Right now, her best path remains those free industrial Midwest states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Donald Trump flirting with Georgia and North Carolina, and perhaps Arizona and Nevada. It'll be a while before we get results there. We've got Garrett Hake, who is at Trump headquarters in West Palm. And Garrett, what's the mood there? What are you hearing?
Sven, I've been talking to Trump campaign officials, and look, we all know the cliche on election days where you hear campaign sources say they're feeling cautiously optimistic. What's happened in the last half hour is my sources have stopped using the word cautious to describe their optimism. They are feeling increasingly confident as more and more votes come in, despite the fact that no battlegrounds have been called, that their theory of the case is being proven correct. And what I mean by that is the Trump campaign set out at the beginning of this race to expand the Republican Party. They knew they couldn't win with their old coalition. They had to get more younger voters, more black voters, more Latino voters, even by small amounts to join their coalition. In the battleground states, they are seeing that happen. And if it does happen, it would be a historic realignment of the parties. Now, again, none of these battlegrounds have been called, but with all the battleground states now closed, the voting is done, except for the folks who are waiting in line. They feel like there's not much else left for them to do but watch and wait in an increasingly optimistic atmosphere both here at West Palm Beach and at Mar-a-Lago, where Trump and his closest allies, friends, and family are watching the results come in. Savannah.
All right. Thank you, Garrett.
All right. Let's go with Peter Alexander now. He's with the Harris campaign in Washington, D.C. What's the optimism level there tonight?
The fact that they even gave D.C. an electoral.
Well, I think there's certainly a level of anxiety, at least according to some of the Harris allies with whom I've been speaking to over the course of the last hour or so. One ally telling me that, just look at the state of North Carolina. Josh Stein, the Democrat, winning his effort to become the state's governor. That we were able to project a while back, but obviously not the same for Kamala Harris, at least not yet. That indicates that there's clearly some split ticket voters there. Some folks who will be voting for Josh Stein as governor, but then Donald Trump as president. Otherwise, we would have a projection already in that state right now. They say that is an indicator that gives some anxiety right now going forward that North Carolina may not be a state that they're able to win. If that happens, and these are all ifs, it's all very early here, that does again shrink their path to victory to 270. They really are relying heavily on those blue wall states right now. And one of those key states obviously is Pennsylvania, the biggest prize of them all.
We need
19 electoral votes. I spent many of the last several days up there, and I was in the urban centers where the Harris campaign put a lot of its energy, including in Philadelphia, and particularly in places like Philadelphia, where they were sending buses up there to knock on doors to help swell the number. They're really relying on big numbers in places like Philadelphia and the collar counties that surround it. They need to run up the numbers among some of those suburban women in particular, the suburbs more broadly right now, and in Philadelphia.
1,500 people live right now, boys.
At least according to the allies I'm speaking to right now. We're going to keep a close eye on that.
That's like real streamer numbers.
All right, Peter Alexander, thanks very much. I think we have a call now in the Texas Senate race.
Like a normal
NBC News projects that Ted Cruz will retain his seat in Texas.
Somebody get Sneako's bitch ass to
swings in recent years in Texas, but unable to land a haymaker.
No, he
Colin
hates
Allred will come up short tonight in his bid to unseat Ted Cruz.
Let's go to Chuck on this because Texas is the white whale for Democrats. Chuck Schumer, the Democratic campaign committee threw money in Texas at late in the game, thinking maybe there was something going on there. Texas has a very restrictive abortion ban, as we know.
The Democratic Party went way late into both of those two races.
Yeah,
they didn't. They were sent a signal to donors for a year and a half. we're not going to bother with Texas and Florida. They're too expensive to do, and they had too many incumbents to defend in Ohio and Pennsylvania and all of that. Then
Florida
already just kept hanging around. So they thought maybe late money, but this is, you don't just flip a, notice we haven't seen any big flips tonight in general. You don't just flip a state in 3 weeks. You don't just show up in 3 weeks and think magically things are going to happen. Not with how embedded, not with how nationalized our conversation is, not with how polarized we are. And this is a case where at some point the Democratic Party are serious about Texas.
They're like, oh shit, we fucked up.
You can't just do it in 4 weeks. And it's the same story we just talked about in Florida. And this is the difference. Again, I go back. The Republican Party for the last 4 years has been much more aggressive. You heard Garrett talk about it, and the Trump campaign is flexing its muscles because it worked. They had massive voter registration campaigns for the last 3 years, and it has padded them. It's what Texas
want Trump.
Republicans got stronger in Texas.
Damn right.
I mean, that Latino vote in Texas, when you've got over 60% Latino men,
Mexicans for Trump
in Texas towards the Republicans, that's realignment. That is realignment that's happening.
And I think we have another Senate call to make now in the, I believe, in the state of Maryland. NBC News projects that in Maryland, Angela also Brooks will win. And there's against Larry Hogan, former governor, difference 171,000 votes there.
So here's the Senate at this hour. The Republicans have picked up 1 seat. They need to pick up 2 to take control of the Senate. And the ones hanging in the balance right now in terms of that are Ohio, Sherrod Brown in the fight for his political career in Ohio. We've got Michigan we're watching. Alyssa Slotkin trying to hold on to that seat after her retirement there.
And Montana would be the flip. If it flips, that would give Republicans control of the Senate.
Absolutely. I think Montana and Ohio are the 2.
Love all you guys.
You guys want to see something funny that I saw today? I'm gonna show you guys.
And while you have some free time, make sure to follow Ashton Forbes on Twitter. He's an absolute hero.
Now you're gonna get us murdered.
He's a hero.
Now I'm just gonna tell you motherfucking niggas straight out the dump. Don't fuck with my motherfucking president. Do you understand me? Nigga, we ride with Donald Trump over here, nigga. Draco, we ain't playing with you motherfucking niggas. You understand me? Keep my motherfucking president name out your mouth. Fuck, nigga. Any motherfucking nigga, white, black, Chinese, Mexican, if you want to build that wall, let them build it. You motherfucking niggas out there think it's a game. I'm going to go to war behind Donald Trump. That's right. Do you understand me? We're going to go to motherfucking war, Trump. You got some motherfucking soldiers, boy, right here on your side, boy. Right here, we coming. Draco, talking about we going around. What that little nigga down there in Baton Rouge name? Nigga, keep my motherfucking president out of your motherfucking mouth, nigga. Talking about you got 100 on the drum.
The hood's rocking with Trump, baby. The hood is rocking with Trump, and I am rocking with them. He said that YN. YN's for Trump, baby.
Everyone for Trump.
I can't wait to see them melt down.
3%, 94% of the votes in. But look at Trump's margins. Trump's actually doing better than he did in 2020. Let's go over here to another county, Dubuque County. 94% of the votes in. Trump's at 52. Trump was at 50. So he's growing in both those districts, in both those counties, I should say. For Democrats to flip Iowa, he has to be doing worse in those counties. Again, look, there's still a lot of vote out. A lot of vote has to come in. But this would be a shocker if Republicans lost Iowa. Remember, Trump won 98 of the 99 counties in the primary. And when you go back to elections past, he won by 8 points in 2020, and he won by 9 points in 2016. So my point here being that if the trend was Iowa was going to turn blue, she has to be turning out the votes in Des Moines and in other places. And right now, that's not happening.
Oh.
We actually have a call right now. Let's play the music here. Projection, and Iowa will go red as widely
all-time high
until that poll right there.
Yo,
electoral votes of Iowa, and so.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. The market is pricing in a Donald J. Trump victory. Bitcoin, all-time high. Sanjay.
Soul just jumped too.
Bitcoin, all all-time high, pricing in Donald J. Trump. Oh, how's my Monu bag? This bag was down bad. Guys, I'm down like 6 figures. It's not funny. What we at? Oh, we're up. Hey! We're up 19K. All-time high Bitcoin. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. That is so crazy. Guys, that's big. I don't know if you realize how big that is. That is phenomenal. Here, let's get back on the coverage. Bitcoin all-time high right now.
Dude, I mean,
it's Latinx, which sort of fell flat. And so there's been a lot of hand-wringing about this inside Democratic circles.
I need to go buy some shit right now.
It was a total misread sort of by the coastal strategists when it comes to how to target working class voters of color. And I think we're starting to see sort of a working class coalition start to drift.
Should I trade crypto live? Oh my God, look at all the Trump coins.
Now he's adding working class Hispanics and working class, not necessarily seeing evidence of working class African Americans,
these are fake
but adding working class Hispanics, that becomes a very durable majority.
Well, another way of saying that is the education gap.
Well, it's the same thing.
College educated or non-college educated.
It doesn't matter your ethnicity. It matters your education.
But is it Donald Trump or is it the Republican Party?
Or is it the Democratic Party? Okay, meaning like I don't, it's the Democrat. It is, first of all, Latino voters in many ways are driven by the same issues. And there's one issue in particular, actually, that Republicans align closer with Latino voters, or Latino voters align more closely with conservative party, and that's school choice. And that has been, and you can't help but wonder, both Florida and Texas have been very aggressive about expanding school choice. Where have Republicans made the greatest gains among Hispanic voters? Florida and Texas. So education, the economy, those issues, bread and butter issues, and that is how they talk to them. I'm not saying Democrats weren't, but for the sort of the cultural issues don't play as well with Hispanic voters as they may with college-educated whites or even African.
And we saw the Trump campaign hammer some of those issues in ads over and over again. Take a break right here. Coming up next, things are heating up. The votes are rolling in. We've got the latest on the battleground states, and we're inching closer to that 270 mark.
Guys, Bitcoin hit all-time high just a minute ago.
Let's go, Divine. Keep it up. Keep it up, Divine. You'll pay less than cash when Trump gets in. Let's go. You'll make more money.
Here, let's take a look at the crypto markets right now. I want to look at what Trump coins are doing. Let's see. Trump on Solana. Is this the one? Is this the main one? 11 days old.
Look at his look at the DJT stock.
Sham says the super cycle.
Ask Champ what we should be buying right now.
Well,
Trump on Solana. Why is this one selling off? 4,000 holder. Ooh, I like this chart. I like this chart a lot.
Right, my Chick-fil-A's on the way up. I'll be back.
Danny's going to eat his godly chicken. Enjoy your chicken. Wow. Crypto's ripping right now, guys. Should I buy this live? Should I buy some Trump coin?
Man, you make it back from it live too.
What's the Twitter look like for this one? Trump on Sol. Wow. Trump, no VC. Should I buy this right now? Okay, guys, I'm buying this right now live. Oh, Danish chicken's here. Hey, is it food delivery? Send them up, please. Thank you, boss. Wow. Guys, hit in the chat. Should I buy some of this coin right now? Trump coin. Trump coin. It's dipping a little bit. $1 million market cap for Trump on Solana. Is that the biggest Trump on Solana coin? No way.
Trump's gonna win Georgia.
47. Wow. $2 billion market cap. Squirrel with hat. I missed that. I missed all those. Doge. Department of Government Efficiency. Dark MAGA. 18 million. Holy shit. Guys, should we buy this coin? Yeah, buy it.
Holy shit.
Should I buy this right outside? What?
Pull up Trump Poly Market.
I don't understand sports odds.
No, just do it.
Okay. Guys, I'm getting
This is the will of the people. Pull up Trump Poly Market.
I'm getting an
This is the will of the
exclusive
people.
update from my partner Danny here.
This is the will of the people. Trump Poly Market.
Oh wow. Wow, 88.9% certainty on Polymarket. Guys, Polymarket's not Vegas. That's the people betting. So the people are that confident right now. Wow, we're about to break 1,700 people live, guys. Thank you so much. This is fire. If you love this stream, go share it. Go put it on something right now. I'll retweet it. Let's get some more people in here. This is phenomenal. We got to spread this message. It's extremely important. Okay, I need more calls on my hookah.
You want to go put some?
No, you're good. I just had to put more on though. Wow. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Chuck. You're amazing. God bless you, sir. Wow, this is crazy. 88.9%. That's crazy. What's happening with this coin right now? It's at $1 million market cap. I'll buy $500. Guys, I'm buying Trump coin right now on Solana. I could get rugged. I don't fucking care. I'm buying Trump. Let's go here. Paste the address. Trump coin. Let's do 2. Nah, we'll do 3 Sol. Oh no, slippage. We'll do 2 Sol. 2 Solana on Trump coin on Solana. Review order. Swap. Wow, guys. This is crazy. Okay, let's get back to the program here. I want to see what's going on.
We go to Kenosha, which has been in the headlines, especially
hey
after
guys, Trump
the George
coin
Floyd protest. 50% in 2020, 73% in. He's overperforming there. So if you're looking at Wisconsin right now, I mean,
I don't trust
the Republicans have some sort of positivity here that they're looking at. Sauk County is one of these counties that we watch that usually picks the winner of Wisconsin. Sauk is one, and Dorr is the other one. You've probably heard of Dorr if you've been following the political headlines lately. Our data out of Dorr is a little skewed right now, so we're going to wait till the numbers get corrected there for right now. But Sauk County, we can look at 48% is in. Biden won this in 2020. Trump won it in 2016. 47-50. You can see Trump's overperforming there.
1,700.
Still a lot of the vote is out. We're going to have to wait and see and what happens. And in case you're wondering, Sauk County, home of the International
Guys,
Clown
thank you
Hall
so
of
much
Fame.
for tuning in.
So
That's
if you
like
ever want to
crazy
go down there,
numbers
and you're near Madison, drive over to
Crazy
Sauk.
numbers.
We're getting to the witching hour.
Harley
We got
Kirk
the
is a
fact
fucking
alert.
Israeli
Fact
plant,
alert
bro.
from
I'm not
Tom.
watching.
Welcome to the fun facts. Yes, exactly. Let's go to Stephanie Gosh. She's in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. A lot of hopes riding on Pennsylvania for the Harris campaign. What do you know?
More info? Okay, one second.
Yeah, there certainly are, Savannah. You know, we are here in Philadelphia at the Tabulation Center. This is where they're going through all those mail-in ballots. And, you know, we've been noticing in recent weeks and months kind of a lessons learned category from 4 years ago. And this place is a perfect example of some of those lessons that have been learned. You may remember in 2020, the tabulation of the mail-in ballots in Philadelphia took place in downtown Philadelphia, and it was basically chaos. Now they're in this entirely new building. It is secured by a fence with barbed wire, and they are doing tabulation inside here. We're actually not allowed inside, but it's going on as we speak right now. And one of the unknowns back in 2020 at the end of the night was, well, just how many mail-in ballots are there out there? We don't know. Well, tonight, right before midnight, we're going to get a briefing here from the city commissioner, from Seth Bluestein. He's going to tell us how many of those mail-in ballots from Philadelphia have been processed and how many they have yet to process, to give an idea of how much more time it is going to take. All of that, more transparency, this more security, so things go much more smoothly. Savannah?
All right, thank you, Stephanie.
Back with our panel and guests, former Missouri Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill and Mark Lauder, former Director of Strategic Communications for the Trump 2020 campaign. Good to have you both back. How's the blue wall looking right now, Senator?
Well, you know what? I just got to say, with the exception of brave Ann Seltzer and her poll in Iowa, where clearly she did not get it right, it looks like the pollsters got it right in this election because I'm looking at these blue walls. If you look at Berks County, Harris is underperforming. You look at Lancaster County, she's overperforming. It's going to be razor close. I don't think there's any question. Now, what we're going to have to figure out is, do we have a country where an election can be close and people can accept the results? That's the question that I'm beginning to worry about, that if these are all really close and they go the way of Donald Trump, I don't think there'll be any problem.
Well, Mark, we live in a 50-50 world. I mean, we do. I mean,
Trump really
and it's not going to stop after, Wednesday or beyond.
No, and one of the things I'll say I'm looking at right now is Philadelphia itself, because while Kamala Harris has her margin, the numbers aren't there. She's about 2 points behind right now of where Joe Biden was. But there was a 471,000 vote difference to offset the rural areas. Right now, with 50% of the vote in, the last time I looked, she's on pace for maybe 390,000, maybe 400 or so thousand. That's if the current margins hold, and that's a projection. She needs to be above 450. Yeah. And if we're down there in that right, because right now it's about 190,000 vote difference with 50% in.
It's early, but I mean, it seems like what we're gleaning from exit polls and other data is that the Trump campaign is overperforming, doing very well with Hispanic voters and young men. That Joe Rogan army appears to be real in a lot of these places. Is that what you're seeing, Mark?
No, absolutely. I think they're very excited by that. And they also see that they're overperforming in rural areas. I think they're trying to cut their losses in the urban areas and in some of the suburbs. It's not always working, but I think in some of these key battleground states, it's panning out right now.
Claire, what are you hearing from the Democratic side?
Well, first of all, I think there's a lot of people on the Democratic side that are paying a lot of attention to what's happening with Sherrod Brown and John Tester right now.
How about that?
How was the comments on YouTube?
Because the fact that it's been called for Trump in Montana and it hasn't been called for the Senate race gives you an indication. Same thing in Ohio. And I think everybody needs to remember what Lester just said is true. It's a 50-50 country. Let's assume for purposes of this conversation that in fact they take
shout out to you guys from Twitter.
Let's assume for purposes that Trump wins
like 95% Twitter
viewers
on here right now. They're not going to have more than
51 votes in the Senate, maybe 52. And you have a couple of Republicans that are not all on board with some of the Trump stuff, like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. You could actually have a situation where the Senate is frozen in either administration, depending on how it goes. So now's a time that I think that regardless of how this turns out, I think the leader of this country needs to realize it's time to quit dividing and try to unite and figure out if we can't find ways to work together.
We have a divided Senate. I mean, already the status quo is, essentially tied with Democrats having control with the tie-breaking vote of Vice President Harris. We haven't even talked about the House, possibly because it will be weeks before we know. But Democrats are hoping to take back control of the House. They only need to net out 4 seats, so those races will go. But once again, I mean, you just look at a country, to Lester's point, that is very divided.
Probably more Trump
this
coins.
Is what the pollsters were showing. And right now, so far, that is what the results are bearing out.
And I will say, we're sitting here, it's 10:30 Eastern time. This is kind of a little bit of a strange moment. We have some data in, but not all. We have a lot of exit poll data in, but not a ton of vote count yet. We still have a ways to go. We haven't called a single key battleground state yet. So this is an interesting moment in the evening, and I think it bears having this conversation, because when you look at the strategies from each of these campaigns, the vice president did something very specific. She looked to once she got into the race not too long ago, she looked to cast Donald Trump as a danger to democracy, but she also looked to make the positive case for herself and why she should get another 4 years. Her campaign spent so much time in places like Wisconsin. Think about that Ripon visit, the birthplace of the Republican Party, bringing out Liz Cheney, former congresswoman on the Republican side. I think everybody knows who the Cheney family is, trying to reach out to this tiny slice of people who aren't quite totally in their tribal corners. Former President Trump looked to supercharge his base.
But it's so interesting because you say it's a tiny number, and it is, but these were Haley voters, a lot of them. I mean,
they're scared. They're scared.
This problem with everybody, because we're going to talk our way through it, because they decided not to report 200,000 or close to 200,000 ballots. We don't really know which ballots we're looking at. So we're going to have to, our team in headquarters right here is going to have to figure out, try to decipher out what places we're missing. And that's going to start to tell us where we think we're missing.
Iowa, by the way, the New York Times says Trump's going to win Iowa by 12. Ann Seltzer, the gold standard, said that Iowa was going to be 3 points for Kamala.
Yeah, just a chill 15-point miss in your final flagship.
I've got a breaking inside source has informed me that Ann Seltzer has fled to Canada. She is on her way there right now.
It's not going to work though, because Trump is going to annex Canada.
Attempted. Well, she's going to have to keep going. She's going to have to keep going.
We can make jokes now because the election's over.
I guess we're going to annex Canada. We're going to buy Greenland. We're going to
don't get cocky.
No one will escape. Not
all right.
Messing around.
Arizona continues to come in. The New York Times says 76% chance of us winning Arizona. Trump plus 4.2 is their current projection. Wisconsin, what?
Greg Gutfeld. He goes, the Ann Seltzer poll was the political equivalent of an adult dream when the sexy stranger turns out to be a naked mole rat.
This is
by the way, what's going on in Lib Twitter right now? Can you give me some highlights?
Well, not feeling the Charlie Kirk. This is interesting. These guys are very smart.
Yeah, that was the bet I was trying to get people on the group chat to take would be.
So it's the federal debt. It's the federal debt.
Yes.
After the next presidential cycle. So 4 years from now, what will the federal debt
be?
That's
a great bet.
That's the
market.
bet. That's the market. And
we might be back.
Do you call them?
Don't get excited yet, but we may be back, boys.
It's a market.
Yeah. Sure.
It's a market.
Let's trade that. I want to trade the debt market, number one.
Federal debt market.
Okay. What else is a great one to we should trade who is the what would be a good one? Well, if Donald Trump and JD Vance wins, we should have a market for who would JD's VP pick be. I think I want
to do a short-term market on who is Secretary of Treasury, Secretary of State.
Oh, those are great. We might have some inside information. Wait, this is something where we're
ripping like a soul into every one of these coins that's launching about Trump right now. I don't want to clear my wallet. So I don't know how to.
Okay, who's joining us, by the way? Pennsylvania update: 50.94 Trump, 48.13 Harris.
That's good.
56.5%.
Pennsylvania, guys, is the big one. If we win Pennsylvania, we're looking pretty good
as well.
I'm not watching on the TV. I'm trying to moderate this. We have our next guest is coming. He appeared on the program, one of the few Democrats who was brave enough to come on the All In podcast in the election season where podcasts obviously had a major role.
That's not true. We had 2 out of 3 presidential candidates. Meaning, he's an amazing human being. I'm just saying we had both Dean Phillips and Bobby Kennedy as Democrats when they were running for president.
Was he an independent when he came on?
They're not doing updates. Let's keep update on here.
and which has changed because a lot of people from New York and New Jersey have moved to the eastern portion
That's
of the
huge.
state.
That's huge.
We're talking about
That's huge.
Northampton. This is one of those bellwethers, Savannah, you were talking about. It almost always picks the winner going back to like the Kennedy years, I think. Trump won it in 2016. Biden won it in 2020. Right now, Trump's on top. 73% of the vote is in, so there's still vote out. Those things could change. Again, it's still early. We're not calling these counties as well. I want to zoom in here. This is Berks County. I'm going to zoom in. Reading, PA. This is a city where Hispanics are the majority here. 92% of the vote is in.
Almost 2,000 people, guys.
It's not a huge surprise, but what it shows is that he's overperforming. He won this county in 2016 and 2020, and tonight he's overperforming. Again, some of that vote is still out, but we're watching that. Finally, I want to look at Scranton right here. Okay, Lackawanna County. Republicans thought they maybe had a chance in Scranton at least to peel away some of the votes there. Again, this is where Joe Biden
got a lot of
was
crazy
from.
opinions.
People wondered if he got the friends and family discount there with voters. She's underperforming tonight, 51% right now. Biden was at 53. In a state where it could be determined by 40,000 votes, 80,000 votes, every little bit matters. If they're looking at the map right now and you're a Republican, you're probably feeling a little bit better. But again, I just want to say it's still so early in the night and there's still a lot of vote out. Philadelphia County, just because this was brought up on the set earlier, 62% of the vote is in. Biden was at 81. She's at 77. A lot of the vote is still out. But again, she wants to be in the same high watermarks where Biden is, guys.
Yeah, Mark Lauder was just here. You know, you're staff Vice President Pence, and you're obviously a longtime Republican operative. You think there's not enough vote for her to make up that margin?
Well, there's still a lot out there. I'm just saying all of these things start to add up. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. And so if you drop 40,000 votes in this state, maybe 6,000 or county, this 6,000 in another, next thing you know, you run out of options. I'll leave it to the brilliant minds in the decision desk to figure it out when that happens. I'm not nearly that good at math, but it's starting to look a little more encouraging. And when you see the Latino vote come in, when you see some of the closing of the gap with the young voters, it's starting to add up.
Well, let me just jump in on that because there are several places, as we're starting to now at this point in the night get some trends across battlegrounds when it comes to exit polling with all the necessary caveats that you have heard by now. And there's a few places where former President Trump is making improvements from his performance 4 years ago.
I don't know if they would let me run.
Latino voters, as you talk about, Mark. It is voters under 30, as you talk about.
It
is
2,000 people live.
But he's doing better than he was 4 years ago. Here's where her improvement is. And this is interesting. It's with seniors. It's with voters over the age of 65. And we're starting to see that trend for her.
You pointed to me when you said
no,
seniors.
oh my gosh, Savannah,
and I just want to let everyone know.
2,000 people live. Phenomenal.
Full disclosure, we talked about it in the commercial break like 2 hours ago. So it was more of a callback to something that I forgot we didn't say on the air because we're chit-chatting constantly. But the seniors piece of it is interesting because think about who actually gets out and votes, right? Who's more likely to get out there and vote? It is seniors. So there's some fascinating dynamics at play. And as we're all talking about, 10:40, we're only on our first
North Carolina, Georgia.
One of the dynamics at play as we watch these results come in that's so fascinating. You think about how close
I will do a live call in
Pennsylvania is as we watch this come in.
Celebrate.
And you think about that decision that she made to have Walz as her running mate, as opposed to Governor Josh Shapiro. So as we watch this come in, and even on the day that she made that announcement, a lot of people questioned, what would Pennsylvania look like with Shapiro on the ticket? And
Governor
you have
Shapiro,
to think folks are thinking
well,
about
I mean,
that.
if she loses Pennsylvania, you can guarantee that story is already being written. I mean, Senator McCaskill, Josh Shapiro has, even in pretty red counties, is a very popular governor.
He is, but so is Tim Walz in the Midwest. And I think what her decision was, one of judgment, where she looked at somebody who had a resume just like hers.
The woman has no judgment. She's a fucking idiot.
At someone who was much different. He wasn't Ivy League. He wasn't all smooth. He was relatable and a coach and somebody who really kind of oozed Midwestern relatability. And I think that's
many people don't know this, guys. I went to this political thing called Junior NYLC when I was like in 6th grade or 5th grade, and I had to raise like $20,000 to go to DC. And I don't know why I went. I don't know. I was a kid. I have no idea. The school picked me for it. And like Al Gore and a bunch of presidents and vice presidents have gone to this thing. It's basically like political training camp when you are a child. And I went to that. So who knows? Maybe can you imagine if I ran for president? They pull up so many crazy things from my past. Who cares?
No, we have.
I think the landscape's changing. You can get away with
the
it.
numbers,
Sure.
and
Yeah,
they're
as long
not
as you are a
as
good leader
hopeful
and
as
you have
I
a
would
good
like them
message.
to be. I still think we have a
Not
path,
guaranteed to win
obviously,
yet.
in the
It's,
blue
it's
wall
first to
states.
270.
And I don't
Ryan.
think anybody knows how Nevada is going to turn out. And I think that is another one. We could have 4 states that determine the presidency that are all decided by less than a half a point.
Okay. Thanks for that.
That's so 2024, Senator.
How's that?
It don't mean
Let's go to
anything.
NBC
The big one's
News
coming
correspondent
in
Ellison Barber now in Gwinnett County, Georgia. Ellison, how are things going there?
Hey, Lester, so we're starting to get initial numbers from the early voting in this county. Initially, they were a little delayed in uploading some of those to the public because they said they were having difficulties with their software of getting a clear image. They were going line by line with a Republican watcher, a Democrat watcher, and other election officials getting those votes up. But now they have those reported, and based on the percent of early votes
grabbing
that are
my
out,
cake,
Harris
guys. I
is
need to eat
leading
some
in
cake.
the early votes that they have tabulated in
Give me
this
1
county so
second.
far, but still they haven't counted any of the precincts that reported today. That process
Give me my
still
cake.
happening here. So you see these people coming in. They're all people who have come from the different precincts in this county. There are 156 precincts in Gwinnett County. What they're dropping off right now, you see these purple bags here. Those are provisional ballots in addition to a lot of blue bags. And the blue bags, I'm told, have official election material that had to be returned, pamphlets, things that sort of gave directions to the election workers, all of that stuff coming in now. It's coming in waves. The first wave of stuff that was brought in from precinct captains on were the memory cards with the vote. That's something that election workers tell me is a way, a thing that's changed over the years. They said they used to get everything, the election materials that had to be returned, provisional ballots, and the memory cards with the votes all at once. And because it took a while to clean up, it would take a little longer for those memory cards to come in. Now they get the memory cards first, then the rest of the materials. The memory cards, they're actually in all these little bags. You see them unzipping there. Those are from 156 different precincts. Each precinct has at least 2 memory cards that have the vote count from today on them. They go in here, they get processed, and they go out to the public. So they're still deep in that process right now. But let's go again to the back, because this is where we see a lot of activity happening on and off, whether it's the early votes being processed and scanned and tabulated, or mail-in ballots being opened and sorted, or provisional ballots being reviewed. So remember, the thing that we were watching in this county was what would the margins be like, because it leans Democrat. We expected Democrats to carry this county, but ultimately back in 2020, Donald Trump got 40% of the vote in Gwinnett County. And what Republicans were hoping was if they could notch that up by a couple percentage points, they could cut in to Harris's margins. And then if they also did well in Republican strongholds, could potentially carry the state. What we're seeing in turnout is turnout so far has exceeded the turnout numbers in 2020. And right now, based on what has been entered,
my whole family's
Trump
going
is
for
holding at about 40%. So
Kevin,
right
you
now,
got to
those
talk
extra
some sense
percentage
into
points
this, folks.
haven't come. Could that change? Yes, that's Tom Yamison's lane. We'll leave him on that. Over here, though, is where they're going through some of the different election material. And they've also been sorting provisional ballots. You can see them in the back here, Savannah and Lester. They're just busy working. They will be here late at night. They expected the last bit of stuff to come from the precinct to get here at 11:30. Savannah.
All right, Ellison, thank you so much. We're going to take a short break right here. Many more poll closings coming up at the top of this hour, including California and its whopping 54 electoral votes, and a look at who's ahead in the race to 270 on election night.
Okay, guys, update. I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest. I got this phenomenal cake from the steakhouse. I'm feeling pretty good. I think if I do math right now, obviously they're going to win. They're going to win California. I think if we get Georgia and North Carolina, and then the other ones are already Trump, I think we're fine, even if we lose Pennsylvania. I could be mistaken. If someone knows, can you hit in the chat? I'll have to actually go count numbers. This is a good cake. Very interesting. The women are voting for Kamala. This is why I said women shouldn't vote. Not because I don't respect women or I don't value their opinion. They're easily manipulated, and that's the whole game of politics, is manipulation. I don't want to have people that are easily manipulated deciding things. It's just not. It's not smart. You need independent, logical thinkers. Yeah, Kevin, we'll do another event. This client is going to do a couple of launches, to be honest. So yeah, we'll do another event. We ended up doing like $2.7 million collected by my sales team for one of our clients during a launch 2 weeks ago. So super cool. Super cool. Like everything that we talk about, the business model, and it works, bro. It works. How's Polymarket now? 93% Trump on Polymarket. 93% is crazy. Wow. If we get Trump in and we have another golden age of crypto. Oh.
Let's take a look at Arizona. Ruben Gallego, Carrie Lake, too early to call right now with 51% of the vote in. Let's head over to Pennsylvania now, one of the most competitive Senate races. This race, too close to call. Dave McCormick with 49% of the vote. Senator Casey trailing there at this current point. Too early to call right now in Montana, one of the biggest potential pickup opportunities for Republicans there. So we watch that closely. We're watching Ohio closely as well. This race too early to call. Senator Sherrod Brown looking for a fourth term against Bernie Moreno. Let's take a look at the Senate map now. Take a look at where things stand. Again, as you can see, Lester, Republicans with one pickup, but we continue to watch Montana and Ohio so closely. Again, could Ohio be a state where we see a split ticket?
Go Buckeyes.
Split tickets, as we've been saying throughout the course of this evening, have been diminishing.
Democrats came in with a tough map to defend.
Very tough map to defend, bracing for potential losses. And again, Republicans don't need many pickups. They need 2 seats. If Vice President Harris wins the White House, they really need 1 seat if Donald Trump wins. So right now we are looking at 1 pickup.
Just put it this way, right? If Republicans don't end up winning control of the Senate based on how this map looks, it would be a shocker, right? That's a huge storyline of the night. I mean, it's a big storyline either way because control of the Senate matters.
Yeah,
for a lot of
AZ
the
and
reasons
Nevada
that we've talked
probably.
about, but that's how the map has been looking, and so we're waiting on these 2 outstanding states.
And they're already part of the way there. They already have this pickup in West Virginia. We cannot stress enough, if Vice President Harris were to win the White House, it would be incredibly challenging for her to get judicial nominees confirmed, to get her cabinet confirmed with the Republican Senate.
So here we are, we're nearing the top of the hour, but we're still no calls in any of the battleground states. Are you surprised we are where we are right now?
No, because as Claire McCaskill has said so accurately, what we are seeing has been reflected in the polls.
The polls maybe
As
were right.
Leading up to this evening, it looks like the
Or
polls
say
were
the whole
right.
cake.
This is a 50-50 race. And so this is going to go down to the wire in all of these battlegrounds.
Close race means a long time. We can put it that way, right? I mean, I think that's generally the vibe. We'll see how it goes. I think everybody's looking towards Pennsylvania, just in chatting with.
All right, well, let's check back into the presidential race, and we'll take a look at the road to 270.
Dude, if Republicans ever flip, California's not going to get flipped, though, because they have all the illegal fucking voters.
It is
You don't even need an ID to
10:51
vote
in the
there.
East, and here is where we stand right now on the road to 270 electoral votes. Those will be the keys to get into the White House in the next year. Right now, we want to go to Peter Alexander at Harris headquarters to really gauge the temperature in the room. Peter?
Well, we're outside and it's a loud one here, but I can tell you if you get into the crowd here, it's particularly quiet in terms of their sense of optimism right now. That's how one Harris ally just described it to me a short time ago. I ran into a longtime Democratic source, a person who was close to the Harris campaign, and I asked them what they make of the results they've seen so far. They said, honestly, this is not looking so good for us, but then they quickly put on a smile and said, but you know what? We just got to keep smiling for the night. That may give you a better understanding of where they feel like things may be going right now. It remains early, a lot of votes still to count, but I'll tell you what I just heard from a Democratic lawmaker right now who just wrote me in part, quote, it's pretty concerning. I just keep reminding myself that 8 years ago, all the trends in the first few hours showed Hillary winning, and then she didn't. But obviously, this is not the return we were looking for. It gives you a little sense of the way that some of those people supporting Kamala Harris are feeling this evening right now. Again, A lot of numbers, a lot of data still to be counted right now. But as Claire McCaskill said a short time ago, some of the early results we're seeing in some of those places, North Carolina, Georgia, are not looking as positive as the Harris campaign had been hoping. It doesn't mean that they still don't have a path, but it does certainly increasingly mean that they'd have to succeed in holding on to that blue wall. Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And frankly, speaking to some people in some of those states that are involved with the Harris campaign, they said that's where they are seeing some concern that that's going to be a tightrope that they have to still try to walk tonight. Buster?
And Peter, we were just talking here, there's a sense that the polls were in fact right. Are they getting that sense that the polls are really reflecting what we're watching?
Well, I mean, nationally, this is basically an evenly divided country, right? So the idea that our last poll showed at 49-49 is sort of a overall popular vote, that may be pretty close to where this thing ends up. But remember, for the Democrats to win the Electoral College, they generally have to have a better advantage as it relates to the popular vote. So if the country's evenly divided in terms of a popular vote, that may not be enough for the Democrats. Still a long way to go. Obviously, nobody here is leaving. They're still waiting to hear from the vice president. They recognize this may be not just a matter of hours, but days right now, and they're still hopeful that people are waiting in line, including on those college campuses. They point to campuses in Pennsylvania in particular, some of the campuses out west in Nevada. They're still circling on the map as a place they think.
Okay, guys. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. I'm going to spend some time with my mom and my friends and my family in the living room. But I want to say thank you so much for joining. Thank you guys for real. This is a lot of viewers. Super cool. And the biggest thing is whether we win or lose, everything I said at the beginning of this stands true. Okay, you got to stand up for yourself. You got to put your foot down when enough is enough. And young men are the leaders of the world and of the country. And if you guys are folding, we're fucked. Okay. So we could wake up tomorrow and we could lose. 100% could happen. Okay. And regardless, you got to do the right thing. You got to work on yourself. You got to be strong. You need to be dangerous. You need to be capable of violence. You need to be accruing resources and wealth, and get close with God. Understand it could go bad. It could go bad. Realistically, it could go bad, guys. And you got to stay locked in. You got to stay dialed in, okay? So God bless you guys. God bless Donald J. Trump. Thank you for watching. And I'll probably do like a recap one tomorrow. Hit the like button before you leave, everyone, Chuck says. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's get the pad the stats a little bit. Guys, thank you so much. Business is cool, but this is a real important thing that I felt like I needed to speak on, because I learn a lot about this space and what's actually happening. So God bless you guys, and I will see you later. Adios.